Hey, very warm welcome to you and good morning on Friday, the 15th of January. Who can believe that it's the middle of January already and indeed that it's Friday? The days, the weeks are just flying by, of course, and lots going on here and no doubt at home as well. I've not done a video message since I think it was a week last Wednesday, so I thought I'd drop you a quick line to catch up. Not a great deal to report on in school as such. From a COVID perspective, obviously no cases in school that we are aware of, but we have had notification that 6 pupils in the last week at home have tested positive. Now, if one considers that we had less than 1 per week in the first term, to have 6 pupils alone, that's not to mention parents and family members who may have tested positive, and therefore the isolations, that is a significant increase. And one listens to the reports from the front line of NHS workers. Where I live in Warrington, the number of COVID intensive care cases has exceeded the number of intensive care beds available. And in Greater Manchester, similar picture. It is worrying and it staggers me that some people still don't appreciate the seriousness of this pandemic. But with those figures, just from a Wellington perspective, it's a good job, isn't it, that we're not in school. And we are yet perhaps to hit the peaks post-Christmas that they have seen down in the southeast. But fingers crossed, a lockdown is having a positive effect on trying to suppress that. If with 6 cases in a week, that would have meant with 10 to 15 isolations for each one, that would have meant a big impact on the school, and that's without any staff or any parent cases as well. So I'm relieved, despite the frustrations, that the whole school population isn't in at this moment in time. Okay, so I just thought I'd share that initial thought with you. But fingers crossed we will be back sooner rather than later. We await the government's decision, the review in the middle of February. We have asked as schools that we get good notice for when we return. The review is due in the middle of February half term, which is not ideal. Not good for anybody to find out on a Wednesday or Thursday evening that coming back the following Monday. So we have asked as a profession, as a sector, that we get to know any decisions with 2 weeks notice, and preferably before we break up for half term. I doubt that will happen, but we will keep you posted as soon as we know anything. But I think we should perhaps prepare ourselves for a bit of a longer haul with remote learning than was perhaps initially forecast to be the case. Disappointingly so. If you're not in year 11 or year 13, I've not been in touch since a week last Wednesday, but it has been quite exam year group focused during the course of this week for a number of reasons. Obviously, there were further announcements on lose track of days Wednesday about what assessment may look like for those year groups. I won't go into detail now because I've shared at length my thoughts and details with the parents of year 11, year 13 students, and indeed a quick video with students themselves. And I apologise for subjecting them to my ugly mug of a morning. But in short, for those of you, for just general information, it looks like our year 11s and year 13s will be with us for much longer than is ordinarily the case, and pretty much to the end of the academic year, to make up for the time lost, because the DfE and Ofqual quite rightly want to leave assessments to as late as possible to give those students a fair crack. And there is talk of some mini exams being set externally and marked internally for our young people to give a degree of standardisation. So we will see. Frustratingly, the consultation starts about now, and we were given the full details of what assessment will look like in the middle of February. So, 6 weeks plus after the original announcement in January that exams had been cancelled. So I know that year 11s and year 13s and their parents are still on tenterhooks, but we'll keep you informed. And the main message yet again, you just keep plugging away. I know you are doing. It was year 11 parents even last night, and unfortunately the system, School Cloud, which is a great system, and I think I have to say that virtual parents evenings may become the future, save all the queuing and missed timings and missed appointments and staff or parents talking longer than is absolutely necessary. I think it may be the way forward. But we've had a letter of apology today from School Cloud. They've explained the server issues caused by the booking page, and they've put things in place to make sure that doesn't happen again. But to thank you parents for being patient last night, and to staff for that matter. It was frustrating, but I'm confident it will be a one-off. and we rearrange those missed appointments and I have those conversations in due course. Well done as well to the Year 11s who came in, those doing sports studies on Monday and ICT on Wednesday, and I think that was a reflection of the commitment and the engagement that our exam classes are showing to their studies in school, of course, and at home. The figures, when you look at people signing on and engaging in lessons, are very, very impressive indeed. I'm not saying that every child who logs on is actively participating. We know there's a degree of inhibition and shyness from young people on the screen, but it's looking good, and pupils are getting the importance of being engaged with their learning throughout this lockdown period until we return and can be face to face again. But I would encourage all of you, but particularly those exam year groups, you must stay engaged. We'll be grading you in all years, but particularly year 11s and 13s, based on not only what you've done before, what you may do when you come back, but also the work you are producing now and the levels of engagement you are demonstrating now, and attendance, of course, for those online lessons. We've shared lots of things with you, but just to reiterate again, this myth that Ofsted have this week dispelled as well. Professor Mujis, spelled M-U-J-I-S, has done a report saying there are myths around remote learning, and remote learning is not online learning, and practically discouraging in many ways, too much screen time. So we've spoken to staff about this, so please keep us informed as well. It's not good for anybody, pupil or staff member, to be sat in front of the school for 5 hours a day. There isn't 5 hours of talking from a teacher in a lesson in school, so why should there be online? Some independent tasks, some breakout sessions, a whole range, videos, etc. A whole range of different methods used for the remote learning, obviously, and we need to bear it in mind. So do have a look. We've shared some with you. Do have a look at the guidance and what Ofsted are saying, but remote learning is not 5 hours a day of live lessons. That would be somewhat ludicrous, of course, and not good for anybody. Okay, but well done to you all at home for engaging. You're doing a great job so far, and let's just try and keep that going until half term, which is, I think, 4 weeks today. I think it said 3 weeks last week, but it's 4 weeks today. My apologies. Okay, in school as well, pupils in school, those pupils are the who cannot be looked after at home. And those we bring in for other reasons are doing remarkably well. I did say to them the day, sat in those plastic school chairs all day. If they want to bring in a cushion or pillow to sit on, make themselves more comfortable. I'm not saying duvets and pyjamas and sleeping bags, but a cushion or pillow, then that's absolutely fine. But they seem to be working well in school, of course, as well. You may have seen today an article in The Guardian which suggests the MHRA, the regulator for medicines and health products, didn't give the go-ahead for mass testing in schools. I had a conversation last night about this with somebody who got in touch from Radio 4. We've heard nothing about that, and as far as we are concerned in schools, that testing has been given the go-ahead from the DFE and from Public Health England. It might be a bit of a red herring, a bit of fake news, but we'll keep you posted. But our testing is going well. Obviously, we'll expand that when people come back more fully. But as far as we're aware, the advice is still to carry on testing those people in school, staff on a weekly basis, and any close contacts that we may get in due course. Okay, but we'll keep you posted on that. But the testing is going well, still in school. Okay, well, God, I can waffle on, can't I? Nearly 9 minutes of whatever. Please get in touch. Any little stories, any anecdotes that you have of your sons and daughters at home? I know they're doing some great stuff above and beyond what's gone. I heard of one child in a school who spent some time, not here, with their grandfather, who was a silversmith, who taught his grandson to make silver jewellery, who in a day produced some lovely earrings for his mum. So great skills beyond the curriculum, the academic curriculum that's taught, that I'm sure being learnt during this, what is it, second, third, fourth, fifth lockdown, who knows. Anyway, stick with it, stay positive. I catch myself doing things which I would have done pre all of this nonsense. And you have to say that walking the dog last night, having a glass of wine, watching sport, playing some games with the family, all those things have carried on. So I'm guessing that a lot of we do hasn't changed, but we tend to focus, don't we, on the negative sides, the things that we can't do. Let's focus on what we can do. I would suggest, I'm sure you are doing, because we as a community tend to be pretty positive, don't we? Pretty resilient, pretty adaptable, pretty stoical. So yeah, on that note, have a great weekend. United, top of the league. Hopefully, a bit of a gap open up and we beat Liverpool at Anfield on Sunday. City just clamouring to stay with us. Yeah, and a bit of rugby on this weekend, no doubt as well. Anyway, whatever you do, enjoy it, stay safe, and I'll be in touch in due course. Keep me posted with any of your stories. Bye bye for now.